Today, I'm going to share with you how to become a beast with Pikachu in Pokemon Unite. We'll be going over the best Pokemon to partner up with Pikachu, the best builds, and the best movesets, and all the best items to use with Pikachu, as well as other tips and tricks. Before we start the video, if you find this content helpful anytime during the video, then make sure to tap that like button. Now, let's get right into the video. So, Pikachu is an attacker, which basically means Pikachu does high damage but has low endurance. Pikachu is a really great Pokemon to play even if you're a complete beginner. So, I've noticed that defender Pokemon really go well with Pikachu, like Snorlax and Crustle, since they have a lot of endurance. You can get behind a defender and kind of use them as a shield while attacking the enemies, which allows you to attack more safely from a ranged distance. Snorlax, I'm hiring you as my bodyguard. I've discovered that there are two builds that work really well with Pikachu. The first build I like using is Volt Tackle plus Thunder, and the second build that goes really well with Pikachu is Electro Ball and Thunderbolt. We'll break down these builds more in depth during the video. So starting out with Pikachu, what should you do? Normally when I first start any match, I try to level up as much as possible before getting into combat with the other team. And it's really easy to farm experience points with Pikachu since Pikachu does have the area of effect. As long as you have tons of CPs to focus on, you'll level up pretty quickly. Now let's talk about Pikachu's early moves. Static, his passive ability. Now this is a really interesting ability. When Pikachu starts taking damage, it actually paralyzes the enemies around Pikachu. I've noticed that this ability really helps Pikachu stay alive longer in battle. One of the early moves that you get with Pikachu is Thunder Shock, and I love this move. The reason why I love this move so much is because it's a surefire hit. This move releases an electrical shock that paralyzes the opponent for a short period of time. It's a must-have at the start of the game. You can use this move to prevent enemies from running away, or you can use it to help escape from the enemy. If you tend to run off from your team and play alone at the start of the match, you're definitely going to want to choose this move first. And another move that you get very early in a match is called Electro Web. And this is a really helpful move. It's great for playing defense, whereas Thundershock is more for offense. So basically how this move works is that it traps your opponent in a web so they cannot move for a short period of time. And I really like this move. It's especially good during the beginning to help you escape from enemies, since they won't be able to move, and that gives you more time to get away and grab some health. Like I'll literally, shoot Electro Web at an enemy, they'll be stuck, and then I'll run off and I'll get some health. And it helps me get away pretty easily, because the enemy, they can't even move. And this move is also great for dishing double attacks on enemies. If you tend to play with your teammates early on in the match, you're going to want to pick Electro Web. And the reason for this is because if you get one Pokemon trapped in the Electro Web, everybody in your party can basically just gang up on them and finish them off. Now let's talk about the mid-game moves. Once you get into mid-game with Pikachu, this really sets the tone of your build. The first mid-game move that we're going to cover is Electro Ball. And I really like this move because it's a surefire hit, and you don't really need to focus too much on aiming with this move, like some of Pikachu's other moves. And it's a powerful move too. This move does even higher damage when it's upgraded. It also stuns your opponents so they cannot move for a short period of time. And another really interesting thing about Electro Ball is that it does more damage the lower the enemy's health is, which makes it a great finishing move to end your opponent. And this move is really cool. It summons a bunch of Thunder Strikes around in a radius. It's a really powerful move, and it really shines well in group battles, because it has an area of effect, which basically means if you're unfamiliar with area of effect, it'll attack all the enemies inside the radius. And this move, it takes a little bit more skill to use than Electro Ball, because you kind of have to aim where you want the thunder to land. So it's not always going to be a guaranteed hit. You really just have to be strategic about this move and you'll be good. Even though this move is a little bit harder to use than Electro Ball, it has a higher reward since you can attack multiple enemies at once with it, and I personally think this move does more damage. And once the move is upgraded, you get even more Thunder Strikes. So that's pretty cool. So which one of these mid-game moves should you go with? Personally, if you like riding solo and taking out one enemy at a time, I'd roll with Electro Ball. Now, if you notice, during your match, there's a lot of group fighting going on, I'd probably take Thunder because that's going to be more efficient in group battles. So these are your late game moves that you get to choose from. Thunderbolt and Volt Tackle. First, we're going to look at Thunderbolt. If you've ever watched the classic Pokemon TV shows, you'll know how legendary this move is. Basically, what this move does is that it summons a strong electric blast that stuns all the enemies around you. And what makes this move really great is the low cooldown it has, so you can use this move more frequently right from the start. Thunderbolt also has an area of effect, so it's a really good move for group battles, and it does pretty good damage. Really good damage when it's upgraded because of the increased damage upgrade. Now, the other move that you get to choose from is called Volt Tackle. What does Volt Tackle do? Basically, Pikachu charges at the enemy head on and does damage and kind of leaps out of the way. You can basically use it as a hit and run, and it can also be used on multiple enemies, so it works well in group battles. Let's say a group is coming at you. You can use Volt Tackle to stun all of them and leap out of the way. Use the eject button. So you'll be far away from the enemies, and it'll give you a ton of time to go and pick up some health. So it's really good about getting out of uncomfortable situations. Now, the cooldown is a bit longer on this move, but luckily once this move is upgraded, the cooldown gets reduced. So if you choose Thunder, I definitely recommend going with Volt Tackle. Using them both together is ultra powerful. And this is the exact combo that I used in this match right here, and our team dominated, and the other team surrendered. I like using Volt Tackle first when you see an enemy or a group, and then once they are all stunned, I'll go straight into using Thunder to do even more damage to all the Pokemon in the area. And to do max damage, if my Unite move is loaded, I'll finish them all off with that. If you choose Electro Ball, I recommend going with Thunderbolt, as they complement each other so well. This combo is stunningly good. Is stunningly even a word? I like to use Electro Ball first to do damage on everyone while stunning them in the process, and then I'll follow up with a good Thunderbolt. This combo keeps them stunned even longer, and while they are helpless, you can finish them off by using your basic moves, or you can use your Unite move if it's loaded. Pikachu's Unite move is called Thunderstorm, and it's basically just like Thunder, but it deals a lot more damage. I don't really think this is the best Unite move, but it can be useful for finishing off groups. Choosing the right items for Pikachu, I recommend going with Special Attack Glasses or Wise Glasses. Both these items increase special attacks, and since Pikachu is a beast with special attacks, it's a no-brainer to choose these items. And the third Hell item I recommend using is Shell Bell because it allows HP after using special attacks. And since you'll be using a lot of special attacks with Pikachu, it just makes sense to use Shell Bell to recover some HP while doing so. Especially since Pikachu's endurance is so low, it can help him survive longer. And you can also choose Muscle Band for an item as well. That's not a bad choice either, since it does raise basic attack damage and Pikachu is an attacker. It really just comes down to what you like. It's mostly personal preference. If you're vibing with my content and you want to see more Pokemon Unite videos, then hit that beautiful red subscribe button and check out my other Pokemon Unite guides on my channel. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.